let's get down to part 2 of this old snowblower where we take a look at the Sno Pup. Today, we're going to rinse out the fuel tank, well, that's for sure. And second thing we're going to do is pull the carburetor. And as far as I can see, it's just 2 bolts, so this should be fairly straightforward. Oh, and this is the governor linkage here. I guess we'll have to remove that, and later on we're going to be playing with that adjustment because we want, you know, if we're going to stay competitive in the snowblowing competition this year, we're going to need a few extra revs. We have ourselves a very clean fuel tank now. I'll probably not use a filter. We are fully carbureted now, cleaned up, reassembled, and fuel tank is mounted onto the back cover. I actually did find where this, I didn't know this, I happened to watch a YouTube video on how to adjust these. It wasn't quite the same, but it was very similar, and they showed this vacuum line going from the primer bulb to the bottom of the diaphragm. There's that hole in the bottom of the diaphragm I noticed, so that little white plastic elbow fitting isn't in the greatest shape, but it works. So now when I press the bulb, it actually moves the diaphragm up and lets fuel in. So it seems to work. If not, the ether will make up for it. Like I said, car's mounted, governor springs in. I'll leave it alone for now. We'll see what happens. Let's try and get this thing running as it is. I backed out both the screws, counted turns. They're clean, so that's happy. I obviously didn't have a new gasket, so I sprayed this area with black spray paint. I thought, oh well, let's just spray the back of that, make it look real nice. Then I was realizing that's a waste of paint. So I stopped and pulled out the spark plug. It's a little bit worn, but we're going to use it anyway. Ugh. It doesn't look good way down in there. So what is this again? A J17 LM. Yeah, I've got nothing like that. I've got this J7, which is actually probably the same thread, but then I've got these guys too. So for today, we're going to clean this up, and if I can find the right sale on Amazon, or if Canadian Tire has them on sale or something, I just don't want to pay a lot of money to get this machine going. I realize the plug's cheap, but I'm trying to keep this on the extremely low budget. Down in the cylinder. What do we got there? Big old piston. So we're not far from getting this running, really. I'm going to remount that back cover, clean up the spark plug, whip it in, tighten down the end so it's not loose. Probably hit it with a bit of sandpaper. And put the top cover on because we're done up there. There's nothing else I can do. And we're going to see if this thing runs. What do you think? Is this thing actually going to work? And for the fuel mixture, I did a little bit of math. We're going to run it at 16 to 1. I just need to see if I could run 2-stroke oil rather than motor oil. It just seems like that's what would happen. And if nothing else, I'm wondering if I shouldn't use a little bit of LV. Wonder how that one's it's thinner than motor oil, but I've got a lot of it kicking around, so who knows? I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll just give things a try here until it works. Well, would you look at that? The Sno Pup is ready for snow, but today, maybe you can tell, it's raining. I'll have to take my word on that. So, we're gassed up. Let's put about a third of a tank of fuel in there, 20 to 1. And let's see if the old Sno Pup will start. I'm going to start by pulling out the old choke. Oops, oh, it is out. The lever got a little bent when I took the case off. Choke is on. Primer bulb, we're going to give that about 10 pumps. A couple more. Oh, I think the line fell off. No, maybe not. Just keep pumping. Let's see what happens. Oh, she almost went. Oh, okay. That's a good, no pun intended, but that is a good start. hesitant to start. They choke off. Let's see what happens. Well, it runs. What I'm going to do now is a simulated snow run. With this simulated snow I made up, let's see how she blows. All right, take two. Come on. Prime her a little bit more. Well, what can I say? This old snow pup pups along just fine. All we need now is some snow. Regardless, I'm ready. Michael Balaban, I'm calling you out. Snow challenge this winter with the snow blowers, it's on. Me and the snow pup here are going to bring all we got. In fact, we're going to bring a couple extra revs. I don't know where she's revving to now, but it sounds a little too low for my liking. And with a shot of ether in there, I think we'll be doing just fine. So thanks for watching. And you know what? If you want in on the old snowblower competition this year, here's the rules. You got to have a snowblower, or snow pusher in my case. It's got to be manufactured in the year 1999 or earlier. And you got to be ready to possibly put it to the test. I mean, if we're throwing frozen turkeys into these things, if we're, going through there'll be a full range of events for the snowblower challenge. So regardless, you're welcome to join. It'll be here in the Nanaimo this winter or next winter, depending if and when we get snow. So far, just rain. Anyway, that's all for today. We're going to put this baby into storage, ready for the big snow. And that's all for today.